Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Hong Kong. Hi, Kitty. Hi, Allie. Good morning. Hi, Bertina. Toronto. Hi, Mabel. Hi, Dora. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Summer in Malaysia. Hi, Karen. Hi, Jiva Angel. Good morning. Good morning, Dada. Morning, Matt. Good morning, dude. Yeah. Hi, Yu Ching. Hi, Coralie in Singapore. Hi, push-ups and yoga. Hi, Madison. Good morning from Seoul. Hi, Liz. Good morning, Rainbow. Good morning, Jas. Hi, Powen. Hi, Wheaty. Hi, Jennifer Kentrup. Good morning, McDonald Road Crew. Yes, Amy. Awesome. Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. Hi, Soso in Bali. Hi, June. Hi, Estelle. Hi, Faye. Hi, Faye. Morning, Amy. Morning if it's nighttime for you. Hi, Tanya. Hi, Fee Hong Kong. Hi, Sess. Hi, Kristen Kaur in Singapore. Hello, Singapore. Hi, Santa. Hi, Santa. Yes, me too. Hi, Freddie. Hi, Regina. Good morning, Regina. Good morning, Lizzie. Hi, Lizzie. Hi, Blurry. Hi. Yeah, good morning. Good morning. Hello, Bhavna. Good morning, Bhavna. Good morning, Keiko. Happy Sunday, Agnes. Yes. Hi, Lynn. All the way down there. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Nav. Hi, Fraser. Hey, cousin Fraser. Hi, buddy. Hi, Serene. Hi, Serene. Hi, Caroline. Hi, Stella. Yep. Hi, Mary. Yeah. Hi, Mary. Hi, Carmen. Hi, Carmen. Hi, Pei and Suling in Singapore. Hi. Hi, Julie in Canada. Big bus, small footprint. Uh-huh. In Singapore, Cassandra. Hi, Cassandra in Singapore. Hello. Hi, Vivian. Hello. Hi, Maya. Hi, Maya. Yeah, exactly. It's today there are some changes. Good morning, Wen. Good morning, Suzanne. Good morning, Suzanne. And good morning, Arch. Hello, first session for you. All right. Good to see you, Arch. I don't know you, but now I do. Here we are. Hi, Michelle. Yeah, great. Now there are some changes, and I'm not too sure how they're going, but I'll tell you. Hi, Melissa in Sydney, Australia. I'll tell you what the changes are. One, today is 1 hour, so we have 1 hour. Hi, Shani, and I've changed positions, so Mount Kailash is on my left, and hi, Vivian. Hi, May. And the reason for that is my good friend was telling me that the comments were going up over my face or over my body. So I changed positions, and now they're on the mountain. So the mountain's not as clear, but I'm not as covered. So you can tell me in the comments what you think, and give me some feedback. Yeah. So today we have 1 hour. And the subjects this week have so my face is more visible. Okay, good. That's a good thing. Okay, good. So the discussion this week I touched on 2 days ago, which was writing our story. So some of you guys are new to the talk, so I just I give an overall objective of like why I'm doing this, and it's because I'm locked in my house alone with 2 cats going crazy, and I need to talk. No, that's not why. I mean, that's why, but that's not why. But hi, Pansy in Shenzhen. Thank you for the message yesterday. So the objective is to share the things that have worked for me, and to help in some way, potentially help to uncover specific practices and routines that have helped me sort of create a more sattvic mind through yoga and through life. That creates, like, in the yogic in the yogic premise, we're after a sattvic mind, a mind that is both serene, wink wink, serene, it's calm, but our mind is focused. It's focused, it's calm, but it's focused. And from that, it's illuminated. And the other two gunas of that concept in yoga are rajas and tamas. And those two are, rajas is the stimulated, dynamic, action born mind, like do, busy, reactive, active, reactive. The tamasic mind, the third one of the three, is the inactive, the hiding, the quiet. And that, the tamasic mind space and the rajasic mind space tend to play ping pong with each other. We go, rah, and then we burn out. I can't do it. I'm not worthy. I gotta do everything and make my life of value. And then we burn out. And then we're like done and toasted and depressed and self-loathing. And basically every human ping pongs through these, right? So what I want to do, when I look at my life and I look at that my role in life, I see like revealing the difficulties and revealing the hardship is so valuable. Revealing the hardship and revealing the path that I've taken maybe can help someone. I've been given so many great teachings. I've had really incredible teachers, and I feel so grateful for that. And I'm like, how could I ever live up to them? I can't. Like, there's no way. So it's like, maybe I just give like these little like vignettes of like, try this because it's working for me. And maybe it won't work in the future, but right now certain things are working. What is it doing? Well, it's creating a sattvic mind. The tendency of like being overly active and like, and then like completely closed and locked in a little dark closet. Rajas and tamas, my sister, Allison, the ping pong of rajasic mind and tamasic mind is just like, somewhere between, there's this window of possibility where the mind elevates to a place of greater wisdom. Yoga being a wisdom tradition. And so what we've talked about so far is like, there are ways to create a sattvic mind, such as ritualize your life. Ritualize it. And the data is undeniable at this stage that like ritualizing your life, having like a morning routine. It sounds so cliche and it's everywhere on the internet and you read about it. No. And then we get all rajasic and get like all super engaged and like, yeah. And then 3 months later, we're like, oh, fuck it. Like that. And then something happens and we fall into a hole and we give it all up. And we kind of all face this sort of the humanity of ping pong between rajasic and tamasic. And so over time, yoga, the great thing about yoga for me has been like, just shut up and do it again. Even if you suck, just shut up and just get out. Just do it again. And so to ritualize our life creates stability. And in those rituals, what I proposed over the past few weeks was a few key things, such as ritualize your morning. So getting up, and I gave you guys my morning routine, which is I wake up and I do a spoonful of coconut oil, and I oil pull. So 10 to 15 to 20 minutes, you just, with coconut oil, extra virgin raw coconut, whatever. And you swirl around and you spit it out. And you got to clear your mouth out with water, whatever. Sesame oil, you can use anything, right? But like coconut oil has kind of a nice taste. And that creates a very powerful extraction of toxins in the gums. And it creates a freshness in this area, which is going to take us to our subject today. And add some clove oil in it. Oh, add some clove oil in it. And Marsha's doing it while I talk. Good. So one of the things that I've been reflecting on is that doing this is giving our mouth value. There's like a sacredness to our mouth, our tongue, our mouth, our voice, our throat. And look at all you guys are doing it right now. Good little yogis. And Cora's, yeah, clove oil, yeah. So doing that creates a more powerful, more clear, more stable mouth. And that is, there's something deeper in that. Now, the second thing I do is I have apple cider vinegar in some water. I like sparkling water. I know it's terrible. I use sparkling water, some apple cider vinegar, like a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons, and I drink that. And that, again, furthers this process of purification. And purification is like, it's not about doing like a cleanse or like, I'm going to get really healthy for 6 weeks and cleanse all my sinister behaviors or my food habits. It's like, no. Don't try to erase the past. Don't try to erase the past. Step slowly into your future with these rituals. Like forget like, oh, I'm going to burn my past. I'm going to change all my eating habits. I'm going to like rinse out last night. No. You just take a step and you move further with a more stable position to express yourself today. So then I'll do short pranayama practice, short meditation, and then a main morning routine is journaling. And journaling has long been a practice that I've done, but I did it for a long time. I did it like intermittently. Journaling. But I've been studying yoga for over 20 years, and so like I've been in workshops and trainings a lot, so I'm always journaling. But the personal ritual of just in the morning journaling, and I do evening journaling too, has become like basically that's like my foundation now. And it's revealed so many things. It's revealed that like how there is so often a experience, there's an attitudinal experience in our mind that is discounting our intelligence or discounting our experience. And that the writing down of our experience, the writing down of our thoughts, there's this relationship that starts to form. And there is some level of respect, self-respect, self-dignity, self-realization that happens in that process for me. The yoga tradition is one that's based on ahum, the body, the speech, and the mind. Ahum. So you have the practices of asana, the body, the practice of chanting and reading scripture, reading it, and the mind, we have pranayama and meditation. So you have these practices that are keys to these locks, the body, the speech, and the mind, and that in the yoga view, we need to be accountable to all three. And so my life has predominantly been in the world of the body in asana. Gold's Gym before that, ha ha ha. But the body, speech, and the mind are three cogs of three wheels of a machine that has the capacity to be a very good experience. Meaning we could be in a very good experience with ourselves when we are accountable to our body, our speech, and our mind. Ahum. So today's talk is specifically about writing our story. Writing our story. Yesterday I talked about the power of having mentors and the power of having of deciding who we see as a wise source or an inspiring life, and not belittling it, but like seeing like what sparks us, like fuck that guy or that girl, the way they speak or the way they live touches me deeply. And then not turning away from that very potent little light that goes on, and instead choosing someone and actually studying them a little bit. Whether your mentor can know that they're your mentor or not is actually, doesn't to me, that doesn't matter right now. But having someone that is like a fantasy mentor, It's like somebody like that, Ali, or like, people that are like, wow, the way they live their life really touched me. Well, that is so big, I find. As I get older as an adult, I find we are so willing to be like, whatever, like everyone sucks. And yet, we're not done. We're so far from done that, like, if we can rebuild our will, if we can cultivate more of our will to live, there is no way to measure what our future will hold. We can predict if we decrease our will to live and we decrease our enthusiasm of becoming more than we are right now. If we decrease that, we can kind of predict what will happen. There's a lot of examples. If we can align to someone or something that gives us some light that helps to increase this will to live, there's no way to measure what our future holds. We can be like, oh, I'm 47. Oh, shit, I'm not a doctor. Or, oh, man, I never, wrote an album. I'm not a this or this. All these dreams. Or I'm not a race car driver or whatever. When we're kids, we're like, I'm going to be that. And we're not that. We're like, it's over. As if like the crest of the hill is where it's all downhill. But actually, the adventure of life is it holds so much hidden. There's so many hidden doorways forward in front of us. So many. And they do not reveal themselves unless we let go of this kind of bullshit headspace of like, I'm done. We have to let go of that headspace. So what am I saying? I'm saying that this ritual of writing is a potential gateway to reawakening the call to our life. It is. So, I have a few ideas. I have a few thoughts. First thought is there are a number of well-researched, well-studied benefits to writing your story. One, I spoke of earlier. When you find yourself, hi Claudia Whitney, you're like 2 blocks from my sister. I can't read the comments. I'm getting caught up in them. The value of writing your story. Here we go. First one. I talked about earlier. Looping. Our mind, one of the great results of yoga and meditation is that you have a direct relationship to the fucked up looping of your mind. Like when you're in yoga or when you're in meditation, if you do it long enough, a year or 20, whatever, you start to go, holy shit, I think of the same thing all the time. I whirl around in this loop. Hi, Wendy. You whirl around in these loops. I have them, you have them, we all have them. There's a loop. Sometimes a loop is like my boss right now for my job. And you just neurosize around why they drive you crazy or why they don't see the value in you. Or an ex relationship, some past relationship. It's just looping. It's like, if I just done this or if I just done that. Or when you fell off your bike when you're 9 and you fell in the ditch and broke your arm. I'm not saying I did, but I'm not saying that's my story, but it is. But there's these little things that like loop, right? They loop. And because of that, hi Lawrence Millman, because of that, writing it down, whatever that loop is, writing it down with detail frees the loop. Just test the theory. Test the theory. You're sitting there going, okay. Fucking test that theory. There's so much research out there that shows when soldiers come back from war and they have like this moment that was like horrific they were in. They were just so in it and they can't get it out and they have nightmares for years. When they sit down and write out that story, that narrative with great detail, the colors, the sounds, the feelings, everything, the words spoken, that loop gets lighter. It starts to go away. I'm so fascinated by that. My sister was talking about this as under the term inventory, looking back on relationships and inventorying your relationships and looking at what happened, what was going on, and looking for your experience, the real experience in it, and where you're responsible in that. Because our memory, I love this, our memory is so bloody muddy. My memory is so muddy. When I was, whatever age, this thing happened, and this story is in my head in a very specific way with not the complete picture, not all the information. It's so small, and yet my mind is so deeply invested and attached to it. And I walk with this story. That person that did something to me that really hurt me and really scared me. And then anyone that is remotely like them in my future, I don't like. But when you stop and you go, okay, there's a loop happening, and then you write it down. And you write it out deeply, you start to see like, You write out because the power of the written word compared to the mind and I would say the voice, the spoken voice, is that the word, the written word, is so much sharper than our thinking mind and our spoken word. So much sharper. Because our thinking and our words are in comparison to the written word, they're so vague and infinite. They just go and 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 go. Where written word, the brevity, it's brevity. The difference between spoken and thinking and written is brevity. When you write, you can only write this much. The page is only that big. The line is only that long. There's only that much ink. There's like, how long are you going to write? So when you write, there is the brevity of that. The economy of that makes things sharp. Makes things sharp. And it starts to challenge our judgments. Judgments about ourselves and about other people. It challenges our judgments. Our judgments affect what we desire. And without knowing it, desires are running our life. I want coffee. Or I don't want to be uncomfortable. Or I want more money. Or and it goes on and on and on. Our desires are really directing our life without knowing it, to lesser or greater degrees, depending on who you are. The Dalai Lama would be like, oh, really? Because the Eastern practices, the genius of the Eastern practices, Buddhism, yoga, etc., is that they said, take a pause, bro. Check in. What do you desire? Why do you desire that? Why do you desire to not be around that kind of person? Why do you desire that kind of person? Why do you desire to be different than you are? Why do you desire things to not change? All these general processes. Why do you desire? And you go, oh, and we have an initial response, but then when you go, pause, write about it. Write it down. And you write it down. Now, you start to see your judgments. The judgments of like, well, I don't like that, that's why I want that. Or I like that, that's why I want that. Our judgments affect how we act. Our judgments affect how we act. We act really nice when we're around things we desire. We act really closed when we're around things that we don't desire or don't like. One person can walk in a room and be the life of the party. They love these people. The next person walks in and they're enemies in the room and they shut down. Judgment determines how we act because judgments are basically living inside these desires, these binary desires. Yum and yuck, yum and yuck, yum and yuck. And so when you write down your stories, like you take that as a big concept in Buddhism and yoga, desires and judgment, be less judgmental. Like years of that. I've been in years of that in the yoga community. So if you guys, be less judgmental, be nicer, don't be so, blah, blah, blah. It's like, hold the phone. Look at your own story and write it down. And let's see where those judgments came from. How did we get hurt? Or what did we learn from our life so far? It's been my experience that like it's too easy to look at these spiritual concepts with these huge generalities, talk about them, think about them. But when you write things down, the economy of writing down narrows down our actual understanding. And it's in that moment that we are confronted with the fact that we don't fucking know. Not yet. It's like the talk went from 30 minutes to 1 hour, and somehow my mind said, well, it's 1 hour, I can swear all I want. Sorry. It's like the length of time freed me up, and so I'm like, there's less brevity of just saying everything. Sorry. So, we have the opportunity to make serious leaps in our spiritual path through the deeper contemplation of one experience. Don't look at your whole life. Look at one experience, one that is somehow looping, something big, something that's awful or something that's awesome. It can be good or bad, yum or yuck. They're both living inside that judgment desire cocktail. You don't just look at your bad stuff, look at your good stuff and go into great detail. Often if you go into serious detail about the thing in your head that you're like, it was the best, that was the best thing in my whole life, and you start writing about it, you're like, actually, I mean, it was good. It wasn't that awesome though. Why am I so stuck on that? Or, oh my God, it was like the worst ever. Really? Like, it was a disaster. A disaster? And then you write about it, you're like, well, actually, it wasn't a disaster. Actually, there was kind of some humor in it, or there was something good in it, So going into it with some greater detail. Now, I propose having a moment of like going, okay, take a ritual, ritualize this, do 10 minutes of writing in the morning. And now Suzanne and a few other you guys asked me like, well, what the hell to write about? I suggested looping, and then still that's not so easy. So now what I'm proposing, I'm proposing that there's not only just this value of like freeing the loops. Fruit Loops, remember those cereal? That cereal, I used to love that when I was a kid. Fruit Loops with the toucan. Anyway, not just freeing the loops, but the second, one of the second key values of writing a story is developing some skill in communication. Developing some skill in communication. There is, again, so much research that shows that developing skill in communication can solve a lot of problems in our personal life and professional. Being a better communicator. Because when we are able to communicate better, that is again a sign of a sattvic mind. When we are like sharp-tongued or quick reaction or like don't say anything or we just add negativity, tamasic and rajasic mind. And we all have it. So it's like learning to economize and to be a little, even just a little more sharp with our words creates, like, it's almost hard to put a value on what that would do for us. I talked about some weeks ago, I talked about the practice of moderation and restraint. And teaching yoga has been an incredible incredible torture for me over my life, still is. Teaching yoga is terrible because, well, it's awesome, but it's like my life's work and I love it. But it's terrible also because they go, okay, you have 1 hour and you have to give everything. It has to be deep, full of meaning, and have an amazing physical experience. And you have to sound like you know things, like that, especially those early days when I was teaching. It's like, you have to sound wise. I mean, what a horrific self-imposed judgment, right? Sound wise. Like, huh? And you have to, everything has to be perfect. Like, oh my God. So these boxed in moments where we're meant to express ourselves, especially speaking, that's what was so hard for me, is being clear, being focused, being illuminative, like this sattvic state of mind. How to apply that in 1 hour in a yoga class was an incredible training. Still is. It's every day. It's really difficult. But that has given me so much joy in considering what I say and considering how I speak. And considering, Marcia, I see your comment. Considering what we say. So this writing exercise, I suggest you take there's another motive behind it. It's not just to heal and free the loop. It is that in developing our story, you choose one thing that happened. Choose one thing. A funny thing, a terrible thing, a funny thing, a light thing, a beautiful thing, whatever. The birth of your child, or like the being at the graveyard of your great-great-grandparents, or the day you were, surfing in Sri Lanka, and the turtle came by, or, whatever. Or like failing your essay in first year college. Remember? Like, oh God. Like, take one instance that you remember and write in detail, just for 8 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, maximum. That's it. And come back to the same story for like a week or a month. Come back to it. Come back and write the same story. Go back and write the same story. Don't write a novel. Write one event in your life. One event. And write over and over. And challenge yourself to develop new language to describe it in words. Because I find with the looping, and our memory's so muddy, but the looping, we think of the same words this over and over to define something. And that is so incredibly limiting. Think of the same words to describe yourself or to describe an event over and over. Fine, okay, not bad. Like, we all kind of, things settle at the bottom of the ocean and then we all hang out there. It's like the lowest common vocabulary denominator. But when you go back over and over to the story and you develop more language, more vocabulary, you describe yourself freshly. Is that a word, freshly? And it unmuddies the memory. It unmuddies the memory. And it creates greater accuracy. And when our vocabulary starts to develop more, we think with new words, we write with new words, windows open. It's cliche, but it's like when vocabulary opens, the world opens. The spoken word, the written word, the thought word, that's why the Buddha is Om, the body, speech, mind. Speech and mind, there is incredible windows of perspective that open when our language opens. When our ability to write and read and speak differently changes. we start to derive wisdom from our own experience. That's where this is going. You go into one story of your life and you derive wisdom from your own experience. I was reading about storytelling the last few days, and one of the things that I find interesting is that telling a story, so where we go with this is like, after you develop greater communication skills around your own life, your own story, something that happened to you, it brings a sense of like presence. The fact that like I have lived, something has happened to me. Whenever I'm with my mom, I think my mom's watching, whenever I'm with my mom, and I've done this for years, and my sister, I'm like, tell me that story. Like, tell me again, like what happened exactly? Like who was there? I find we need to do research into our own life. And when we do, we are able to like, we become more receptive. Oh yeah, that's the thing. When you start telling a story, like I'm telling a story right now in a way, and you are all receptive. When we're storytelling, sitting around a fireplace or sitting around at a campfire, and someone's telling a story, there's something that happens to us that where we like our mind quiets. If you're just having a conversation, you and I both know that when we're having a conversation, we're both thinking about what interesting thing I'll say next. It's like the human mind, the ego is so ridiculous that even when you're talking to your friends, your colleagues, whatever, it's like you're thinking about what you're going to say next. But when someone's telling a story and they're good at telling the story, that's the thing, you got to get good. People become incredibly receptive. They listen. And when the world is receptive, that's a gift. Doing something for people that leaves them receptive, I feel like that is an incredible gift. That's an incredible skill. When people tell me a story, or when the effect of someone else, Kel Perry, my whole family's online now. But when we do something that leaves the other person we're with more receptive to life, holy shit, that is a serious gift. To give someone the gift of a story, to tell someone a story, this time when I was young and people listen, how do you put a value on that? How do you put a value on that? Now, I'm explaining to you, I'm proposing to you to write about a story in your life. To choose something that you're willing to write about. If it's not too intense, don't get it all crazy, too intense. Think of something that's looping for you and write about it. And write about it with the intention of seeking some wisdom from your own life. Like what I mean by that is, write about it with a goal. The goal is not just to write about it. Okay, I wrote about my story. Write about it with the intention that you are going to extract some wisdom from it. You're going to extract some wisdom from it. That's the goal. Yoga is the path of wisdom. Philosophy is the love of wisdom. Wisdom, we do not know what the future holds, and we should all do our part in garnering more wisdom, because the world may need us specifically. If we did some work and have some wisdom, we may be able to help in the future. You know, let's not be lazy around that. Like we're gifted and we're so privileged. So, write about it. Now, with the idea that we're going to extract some wisdom. You buy a thesaurus, buy a dictionary, and freaking look words up. Don't be limited by your own vocab. Look them up. Now, there's something that happens that I want to share, a part of this storytelling archetype. There's this awesome guy on the American NPR, the public radio, National Public Radio. His name's Ira Glass. And he is so brilliant. I love his show. An American Life. American Life, I think. This American Life. Anyway, he did this cool podcast or interview or something on storytelling. Is about writing movies or writing stories or whatever. He's talking about this concept that is known as the gap. Now the gap is when you have an idea or a memory or a story, and there's a feeling around it. Wow, it's amazing. Your ability to express that feeling through the story, through written words or through whatever, is so much less interesting than the feeling and the memory of it. There's this gap between, wow, this idea I have, this story, this experience I have is amazing. And now I'm telling you, like, let's write about it. But the capacity to express it through written word, when you read it, you're like, oh, that's shit. The experience is amazing. Oh my God, I was at Burning Man when Jesus showed up. From the ashes of the burn, Jesus was there. I was there when, but like your ability to tell the story is so much crappier than the experience you had. That's the gap. So what I'm suggesting is to shorten this gap, to bring the experience in your life and to give it meaning again. Do the writing, not something new every time. Write about it over and over and develop the story of your life. One instance in your life. Make it small. Make it, that time. And develop it because you will shorten the gap. You will get better and better and better. And listen, if you can develop one story about your life where you extract some wisdom, that is a fucking gift. Not just for you, but definitely for you. For us, the feeling of like my life hasn't been a waste, something terrible or good happened, and I was able to bring it forward into the future and share it. You were at the wrong Burning Man. You weren't there the year Jesus was there? How about the year that Daft Punk was there? That was also a lie. That didn't happen either. But yeah, Daft Punk's playing at the Trash Fence at Burning Man. That was like a rumor for like 10 years. We'd all go to the Trash Fence. No Daft Punk. Anyway. The gap shortens, and eventually your ability to tell a story of your terrible dress at that wedding that you spilt wine on and that was embarrassed but extracted some wisdom of self-respect out of or whatever. When you get better at that story, it is like people will sit and listen to the same story over and over. They will sit and listen to the same story over and over, but you have to be good at it. And you can be good. You have to get better at it. You have to play the game. 8 minutes a morning, write your story. 8 minutes, spend 1 month. Don't spend the rest of your life. 1 month. 8 minutes every morning, write into your story. The gap shortens. It increases when you're able to bring forward an honest story about your life with detail and extract some wisdom, it can build relationships. That can become a place of trust. It's one of my favorite stories is Star Wars, and the other day I was saying how the Star Wars storyline, George Lucas, brilliant, is born from some talks he had with the philosopher Joseph Campbell, who wrote the book, the Hero with 1,000 Faces, and wrote extensively on the hero's journey, the archetypal story of the hero. And I was reading some and before getting here, and one of the things I wanted to read you about was from him. So I'm going to read this little piece. Hang on. Saying, the heroic life is living the individual adventure. The heroic life is living the individual adventure. Get this. There is no security in following the call to adventure. There's no security in following the call to adventure. Reinhold Messner is like the greatest living climber to ever live. He's alive. He's Italian. He's badass. And Reinhold Messner was the guy who climbed all the 14 8,000 meter peaks for the first time. He climbed Everest. He climbed Everest 4 different ways. Then he climbed Everest without oxygen. Then he climbed Everest alone. Then he climbed everything else in every way. And the guy's He walked through Tibet for 6 months after the Chinese came in and was alone, and he's the one who claims he saw the Yeti. I mean, just like the guy is just like endless. Read about him, Reinhold Messner. It's crazy. The guy is brilliant. It's badass. Anyway, he was interviewed recently, and I was watching it, and they're like, dude, you've done everything. You were the first that did everything. What do you tell to a young adventurer like me, where everything's been done? I can't go climb a peak for the first time because they all been climbed. What does it mean to be like an amazing adventurer? And I was like, yeah, dude, that is such a good question. And Reinhold's like, looks at the guy dead in the eye, and he's like, adventure, all that is doing something when there's no guarantees. There is no security. You got to leave Google Maps at home and drive and find your way. Leave it. Don't plan TripAdvisor, every restaurant, every night. And the coolest thing here, the coolest thing, guaranteeing your experience is the opposite to adventure. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. Wow. My calendar's like scheduled like a year out every day. I know where I am. Make sure you have the right restaurant. Make sure you get the right thing and research and figure it out. He's like, the lack of security is where adventure begins. Like, oh, damn. I continue, Joseph Campbell. There is no security in following the call to adventure. Nothing is exciting if you know what the outcome is going to be. To refuse the call means stagnation. What you don't experience positively, you will experience negatively. You enter the forest at the darkest point where there is no path. So, the darkest point, it's like the hero's journey, you got to go into the dark. Our history, maybe, our past is a bit of the dark forest. Go and dig something up out in that past. Dig it out and brush it off. Clear the mud. Write about it. Is there wisdom in your life already? That's the dare. It's like the call to adventure. Maybe in yoga, the adventure is ourselves. Like reading that makes me want to go to like back to Western Tibet, deep into the center of Africa. But really, the story is like inside us. Going into the deep cave of our heart. Where am I? Where is the wisdom that exists in me? Well, it's from our experience and the willingness to look into it, to contemplate it, to draw something out, to free the loop, the weighty loop of our past and like be in it now, to live into it now. That has no measure of value. No way we can measure that value. There is like an interesting obstacle in front of us all the time. You know, Joseph Campbell says, this whole thing begins. I'm going to read you the very beginning of this little piece. The privilege of a lifetime is being who you are. Well, who the fuck are you, right? That's what I'm asking myself. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm not my past, but I am. I want to be my future, all my dreams. I want to be. But by knowing my past, it's like, holy wow. Extracting some value, going, I can use this story from my past to build the future. Wade Davis is my favorite adventurer. He's still alive. He's from Canada. Wade Davis. This guy is like, he's my idol. Okay, Kel, I'll repeat the line. This is Joseph Campbell. Joseph Campbell said, the privilege of a lifetime is being who you are. But Wade Davis, he's an explorer in residence at National Geographic. And he's a ex-Harvard professor. He's from BC, he's from Canada. Boo, boo. And he says, the challenge the greatest challenge of our life is being the architect of our life. Now, that is profound, because judgments and desires are creating our life without us even knowing it. Our judgments and our desires are creating our path. So we can be like, yeah, I'm going to go make my life. The challenge of a lifetime is being the architect of your life. Yes, I'm going to do it. Make all the right choices. But that's bullshit also, because the thing that we have to remember is that we are always trying to tame our fear. And when you the way we tame our fear is by doing things that steals our freedom. We are constantly trying to tame our fear. Fear of going broke, fear of getting sick, fear of taming the fear. That's the opposite of the call to adventure. Because when we try to tame fear, we are hooked with judgments and desires. We do it in ways that steals our freedom. We have to remember that we can't expect the future adventure to just happen. We have to be deeply involved, shaping our words, shaping our story, owning our history, making it clear. It's like, boo. It's not easy to develop a skill. It's hard. And to develop a skill like writing is one way that we can help start shaping the way we think, because the way we think is the way we live. And the way we think is in a pinball machine with our judgments and our desires. So let's not paint a really broad, vague brush with the way we're doing our yoga or living our life. Let's be detailed. It's in the details, man. It's like letting go and not trying to tame our fear, man. One time when I was in high school, my friend Byron Lee, we decided, let's go skydiving. So we found this place in Vancouver, out in Abbotsford, out in the farms. And we went out there, we trained for 3 days. And we decided we want to do the one that's like, I don't want to have someone on my back. They tie it to the plane, you jump out, it pulls the chute, whatever. It's a static line, they call it. I didn't want to do it with somebody on my back. So we went out there, we did 3-hour training, right? The 3-hour training is like, zip up the suit, clip the things, sit it like you're on the plane, and then you had to practice. Step 1 foot out when the door opens, step 1 foot out onto the step of the plane, hold the brace of the wing, hold the wing, let your feet go, so you're holding with 2 hands, your feet are in the air, and then the coach is in the doorway and goes, 3, 2, 1, go, or whatever. It goes like 3, 2, 1, go, and then you let go with both hands, and as you leave the plane, it pulls your chute. It's like 3 seconds of free fall, and then shoots out. Right? So we do the training over and over and over, and the training is so bloody boring. You're like, oh my God, 3 hours of the same thing, like that. 1, 2, 3, let go. 1, 2, 3, let go. Watch. 1, 2, 3, let go. You're like, okay, can we get in the plane now? So it was me and Byron and this other guy. So we get up there and we're flying and the airplane's up there. And I'll tell you what, I was bloody scared. I was like, holy crap, I don't think I'd ever been so scared in my life. My stomach was in my throat. I was like green, sweating. I'm like, maybe I don't want to go. The one lesson I remember so clearly was, once your feet are outside the plane, you can't come back in. Or once your hands are outside the plane, whatever, some part of you. Once some part of it, you can't come back in the plane. And you're like, okay, whatever. So we're up there flying around, and so the third guy is first. So the coach goes, okay, you're up, buddy. He goes out. He goes, okay. You can see he's quite scared, but I'm so scared I can't even see anybody. And he goes out in the plane, he opens the door, and he's standing on he gets his foot out, and the door's open. First time I've been in a plane, the door's fucking open. You're like, like, ah! And then he leans out and he gets the grip of the wing brace, and then he catches the wing. So he's got his hands, but one foot's still inside. One foot's on the step outside, one foot's inside, and he's holding. It's kind of this weird rock climbing move. And then he steps out fully, and it's like, and then you see him freaking out. He's freaking out. And the coach goes, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or whatever, 1, 2, 3, go. And the guy's looking back, and then you see him just go like this. He looks back at the coach, and he goes, like, decides, can't go. And the coach looks at us, and the coach goes, look away. And he goes out, and he pushes him off. Fuck. Ah. The dude dislocates his shoulder because he's held on to the plane when he got pushed off, and he could only pull one toggle, went in one direction all the way down, and had a weird crash landing. We had to jump after that guy. I was like, holy shit. So I get out there, and it's like, well, once you're out, I don't want to get pushed off. So he's like, 1, 2, 3, and I go. I wasn't brave. I was just like, I was more scared of just like doing that freak out than I was of jumping. Then we get to the bottom, and we learned from the guy that it was his 5th attempt to different companies. The four before, he'd never gotten out of the plane. He flies up and he'd sit in the plane so scared. He'd finally gotten out, and then he'd gotten pushed off. So we were like, are you okay? He dislocated his shoulder. He's like, ah. He's like, I'm so happy I did it. I was like, Jesus, dude, all you had to do was let go. It's like, I was so scared, but seeing that guy fuck it up so bad from his fear and being so twisted gave me some courage, or gave me some impetus. Like, I was like, if that guy, holy crap, I mean, I might have been that guy. And it was like the cliche of like hanging on too strong, dude. Once you commit, you gotta go. Don't listen to the crazy mind. Go. It was like, oh my God, man. It was potent. It was potent. I was like, when you decide you gotta do something, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. Hesitation will kill you. Kill you in regret, kill you in bitterness. You know, if the challenge of a lifetime is being the architect, writing a story is gonna help us. It is gonna help us. Developing the courage of our own life and the wisdom of our own life, developing it. And we're not gonna be like novelists, but like our life is our material. And it is so valuable. I wouldn't be embarrassed. I got another story. Right, I'll tell next time, Marcia. I got stories to embarrass the hell out of me. I was scared shitless. I wasn't some brave guy. I'm not trying to make myself out to be like the hero of that story. But I did jump. I jumped out of an airplane. Mount Kailash right there, people. We need an anchor within the chaos, an axis. Every day, find something. Find someone that's wise. Give yourself to studying them. And write your story. I hope this was interesting. Scott Ebbing was awesome. I hope this is interesting. Can you guys write me some comments and tell me, was it too long? Because this was an hour, and I was considering, do I do hour now, or do I go? I'm going to half hour again tomorrow, but you guys let me know. I'm really happy to spend this time with you. And yeah, I love you too, Matt. I send you guys all my love. Today's day off from Austin, man. I'm just gonna like drink coffee and read books. Woo. Send me, tomorrow morning is 9:30. I'm doing it every day, Madison, every day, 9:30. Send you my love. Send me a message. Tell me what you think. Thank you so much. Ali Bumbaye. See you later.